Our personal best is really encouraging people in a strong way. So, in order to go ahead and do that, we have to be comfortable getting at least to a second no and a second opportunity to discuss it. All right, I want to talk about the thing that makes me the most passionate, which there's a few policies I get pretty psyched about. And the curious thing is, it's never policies that you actually have to have. And that's why I think I like them so much, the umbrella policies, the cyber, the EPLIs. But today we're going to talk about life insurance. And I got to be honest with you, life insurance to me is the ultimate act of service. So when team members tell me that they are, oh, that's service, they're great service professionals, they give good service, my first question is always, awesome. How many life insurance, educational moments do you have this week? Because to me, the ultimate act of service is ensuring our clients have a plan in case a tragedy happens. When we often work with agencies and we kind of identify, hey, why aren't we doing this? So many things come up. For many of our clients, they work with carriers that have life insurance goals, and agencies have missed tons of bonus money, great trips, all because we couldn't get life insurance going. Now, on the flip side, some of these companies have like qualifying months where in order to get a big, boost or get ranked and be competitive with your peer group, you have to sell a certain amount of policies. And it's amazing to me because in that month, we can sell insurance policies, we can sell life. But then we go off and it's like, okay, I don't understand. We don't sell any life insurance. So we know we can, it's a consistency game. And I want to stop here and say this is huge because we're releasing in our latest course all about how to educate and sell all these different types of coverages. Life insurance is included, water, sewer backup. We have a list of over 100 coverages, and that might seem overwhelming in a course, but don't worry, don't worry. Really, what we've done is break them down into one pagers for each coverage. There's what the coverage is, how to explain to a client in a script, sample claims and objection killers, and then there's a role-playing video. So you don't have to do all at once, but it's huge because an eye-opening moment I recently had was, agents could explain to me the coverage, but they really struggled explaining it live to a client. Maybe it was just having the practice the first times, but it got really, really scratchy. And I was like, well, hold on. So we started beta testing this last fall with agencies and coming up with coverage sheets and actually having the agencies do this. So they got to research the coverage and feel more comfortable with it. But there's a lot of coverages we don't talk about all that often. And, it's kind of like a muscle when it's not in use. Guess what? We don't use it as much. So here's why we find people struggle, especially with life insurance. They're unclear how to explain the value. That's the key. Maybe they don't have life insurance. It's a totally different pace of sales. So it's not like, hey, let me go quote it and bind it and be done. It's let's quote it, wait forever for the medical. It's just different. Health issues are well kind of uncomfortable to discuss, right? Your client. Do you really want to know all the medications they're on? Maybe not. Many of us have mindset that people are struggling financially. When you watch the news, you would think everybody's desolate, but trust me, every Starbucks I've seen is wrapped around the corner. We get nervous because we think life insurance is an expense people can't afford. We simply don't do it enough, so it seems overwhelming. We don't have it personally, so it's very hard to promote something you don't personally have. I say this all the time. If you want to sell more umbrella, go see how many of your staff members have umbrella policies. Or we forget or we feel overwhelmed with everything on our plates that we think asking for life insurance is a luxury item we only do when we have time. But the reality is, for me anyway, life insurance is the most valuable product we sell. So, we have to get to a place where the team understands that life insurance is serving the customer. It has very little to do with all those objections. All those objections are our own mindset, our own biases, and we need to kind of springboard out of that into how are we serving our client. I always ask agency owners, do you want more revenue per client or more clients? And universally, everyone's like, more revenue per client. Yes, please sign me up. And life insurance is a huge way to do that. Not only that, but retention is so strong with life insurance because it's one of the few products where if I buy it next year, it's more expensive because I'm older and I probably put on weight and I might have new health conditions. So I think a lot of times we have to just focus on, building up that rapport. And there's a few key life events we talk about with life insurance, right? A recent marriage, babies, job change, recent divorce. I think that when we're really thinking through life insurance, these are very big keys to success. If we're breaking down recent marriage, now we have two people becoming one. If one person unfortunately had a tragedy, lots of young people have two incomes. They need the two incomes to survive. Babies, so inexpensive on a baby. So get it while it's young, get the life insurance policies there. It'll be a huge opportunity. Another job change. I always say, people, one of the biggest objections you have to life insurance is I have it at work. And while that might be 100% true, you don't work there anymore. Work could take it away. Or if you can't work because of an illness, you don't have life insurance anymore. So these are all things you need to consider. A recent divorce, do you still want your ex on the life insurance? Oh, we should probably relook at that. I got to tell you, I wouldn't want my ex getting my life insurance policy. I got a lot of life insurance. I don't have an ex. I still have a husband. So let's keep it that way. Our stop in thinking about if you're leading a team and you want them to ask for life insurance is to think about this. One, how many clients know that you offer life insurance? It's probably a low percentage. And then the second question is how many clients actually have enough life insurance? And then how many clients have a policy contingent with their employment? How many clients have a life insurance policy for each member of their immediate family? An objection you get on life is, oh, I have it at work, but what about your spouse? What about your kids? How many clients have a false belief that life insurance is too expensive? When I got a $2 million policy, me, I was 28, it was $62 a month. I still have that because the term is not expired, but it's going to next few years. I'm sure it will go up. But, the idea is we have to at least do our 3-step process, which is called LEAD, look, educate, and encourage. You first want to look, review the account, identify what people have, what they don't have, what they might need, educate the client that you do it, and then encourage them to get a no obligation quote. I think encouragement sometimes is the hardest step for people because when we hear no, a lot of us shut down, right? Like, no, I'm good. I have it at work. It's like, okay, check, document the file. And trust me, that is better than nothing. But we're not playing to win there. And I'll also say it's not our personal best either. Our personal best is really encouraging people in a strong way. So in order to go ahead and do that, we have to be comfortable getting at least to a second no and a second opportunity to discuss it. Some common objections that we typically get, costs. And again, these objections will be on every single one of our how to explain coverage guides. I'm so psyched for this, guys. I just think that this is going to be the universal way that people can help get stronger on explaining coverages. And when people aren't strong, they talk in circles, which can also tick people off. So that's another reason I really want to make sure that we do that. But objections, cost. I want to remind everybody that when we think about cost, nobody knows the cost of life insurance till they have a quote. So if they're giving you the objection that I don't have money for that, they don't know until they have a quote. It's not needed. Maybe they feel like, oh, I've got investments otherwise, life insurance isn't needed. Remember, for some carriers, they offer the multi-policy discount. So it can actually almost be free or just a small investment. Why wouldn't you for a couple extra bucks a month add it on? Low payout value, it doesn't accumulate cash value if it's a term policy. Some of those things, can get to people over time. I always like to say that there's a lot of different types of life insurance. So you have to kind of evaluate your client's needs. Health concerns. I think this is one of the big reasons people don't ask is, well, what if they have diabetes? What if they're overweight? What if they're a smoker? Well, we only know that by asking. And there's nothing wrong with just saying, okay, well, you're probably best staying where you are and just leaving it there. We don't have to go above and beyond the call of duty every single time. But I think that the other one that we have to look at is saying some of these health conditions might have gone away. There might be a look back period that's expired. It doesn't mean that it's the only thing. Short-term focus. Some people might say, hey, I can't afford it right now. But I always like to say, if you can't afford the policy, oh man, can you not afford the funeral? I just think we have to get through a place where everybody understands the value of life insurance. If you take a look at our blog that we have associated with this podcast, we actually go through role-playing scenarios, how to incentivize people. It's amazing to me on those qualifying months I mentioned earlier, where carriers will throw down big contests that we all sell life insurance. And then we sort of put it by the wayside. I think agencies do best when it's consistent, right? It's a consistent ask. We consistently ask about the life insurance. And so we like to track how many asks did we do this week? How many applications did we get? I understand, hey, there's a lot of things we ask people to do, right? We ask them to review accounts, to do this, do that. But life insurance to me is just one of those things where I've had those experiences. Even when my dad died, we weren't sure if he had life insurance. We found some paperwork through some like small policies for banks, and we never did find it. And we don't think he had it. We think he canceled it. But, those are struggles that people have. I'd much rather have that phone call come into the agency saying, did you have life insurance? And we say, yes, and being definitive about it. You also hear all these stories. And once you hear these stories, they're very hard to unhear, which is another reason why I really like to keep encouraging life insurance. Whether it's, a young family that the main breadwinner passes away, or you have a scenario where, spouses thought that they were had life insurance, but they never finished the application. You kind of see those commercials on TV all the time, like, but we have life insurance. And it's like, no, I'm trying to find one we can afford. Those are the times where you want to make sure you're on it. But as far as incentivizing people, I think, every agency we work is different. I think that, if you want to put a contest together, that's fine. But at some point, life insurance just has to become what we do. It can't become the thing that we hold back from. So at the end of the day, let's think about the number of asks, the number of applications to track and keep in front of it. If there's a tracking board and it's in front of people, you'd be surprised how often people go ahead and will pay attention to it. If not, people keep going about their lives. And the last thing I'll leave with this, if you want to bump up life insurance, another thing I highly, highly, highly recommend is encourage your team, or if you're listening to this, get your own quote. The quote is not, there's no obligation to a quote. Understand what the process looks like. Understand what the cost looks like. Understand what the options are. When you go through the process yourself, you will feel far more comfortable recommending it to your clients. So don't back down from, maybe looking into it yourself. Even if you have it already, get another quote. See what it would be like today. See what it might be for your kids or your spouse. The worst thing that happens is you become a little bit more educated on it. That's all. All right, we're going to wrap it up, but check out our course. Love this course. Love this launch. You can get literally all of the 100 plus coverage explanations for under $500 until the end of January 2024, which is still really weird to say. Gosh, what else could you have? You'd own it forever for under $500. You would have explanations for all the coverages, claims examples, how to overcome every objection. I think even if you just picked one coverage a week, it would take you 2 years to go through all the coverages between personal, commercial, life, and health. And we're throwing in a few difficult conversation ones in there too. So can't hurt, right? Get out there and help your team explain all these great coverages that are only going to help your agency grow, your team become more comfortable and strong, and at the end of the day, be a thriving agency.